Hi, I'm Ayosha Günther, and today I want to show you this track that I've made for the game Velocity Noodle. It already came out like a year ago, but today it's coming out on Switch and Xbox and PlayStation. So I thought this would be like a good time to show like a track that I've made for the game. And yeah, this is how it sounds. Yes, so let's start with the drums. The drums are very simple, they're just a very straight beat, just on the one and on the third of the track. So I didn't do too much to like the kick sample. As you can see, I only pushed like this low end here. And I think, yes, I didn't really do anything with this snare. Then I have like some hi-hat loops going on. Also very simple. Yes, here I'm having like some head samples. And with crash sounds. And I think I'm having some hi-hats or something here. And at this end part, the kick pattern changes without the snare. I think that's pretty cool to have like these parts without a snare. Like I think it's very much like building up to like this track looping again. Let's get to the bass. The bass is mostly 2 or 3 sounds. So first of all, we are having a sub bass, and the sub bass is just this hip hop sub preset that is fairly popular when you're using Ableton Live. Just a sine wave with like some distortion on it. And then I have like the first layer for most of this bass, and it sounds like this. And it's basically a massive X patch with a square wave. And most of the sound is coming from this button, and when I turn it off, it sounds like this. And when I turn it on, it sounds like that. And you can see this is an LFO. It's LFO 5 with this shape, and I could like change again like how this LFO moves by using some of these sounds. Yes, so this is the main thing that's going on like throughout a lot of the track. And I have like a second layer underneath it, and that is this Vacuum Pro preset that already sounds very cool on itself. It sounds like this. And the thing that I think is interesting about this part is that I've used this phaser flanger device from Ableton, and I used the doubler mode, and what it does is basically like, it's like a delay kind of thing, and it's, you can see the time is 80 milliseconds, and when it's on, it doubles it, and it sounds a bit detuned through it. So this is like the main thing about this bass. Also, composition wise, what I think is interesting is that I've tried to make more of a riff out of it. So normally when you're like doing like some, I would say, synthwave music, you would have a kick like here, 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 and here, and then you would just like have like this group of threes playing after it. Like, let me just show you what I mean. But I've tried to make it like a little bit more like a normal riff you would do. So that's about this part. So on this part, I think it's just a saw wave patch or something like. Yeah, not really. It's like a sine wave and then this Dragon Crush thing. So I think this is just like a wavetable that I've used from SFX, and again I use this PM1 thing. So without it sounds like this, and with. Yes, and this is getting sidechained by the kick. So the channel 62 is, I think, the kick. Normally I would like today, this project is pretty old, but today I would just like make like a very short click sound and put it like in the same spot where like the kick is, and then I would just let that sidechain this part so that it would be a bit cleaner, because like right now the sidechain is just, just ending when like this kick sounds end, and that is like pretty long. But yeah, that's just about it. And I think this is already the bass. I only have like this bass sound left, and this is just like a normal rock bass with like some distortion on it. So again, nothing too special. Let's go to the guitar. I've only used like this one guitar patch. You see like in these two parts, and it sounds like this. And this is just a contact library called Electric Sunburst, and it basically plays a pattern out if you just press like one key. And I've tried to mimic like the bass part a bit that I have like here. It's not like exactly the same, but I have like this ending like this one. So I again didn't do too much to it. Now let's get to the effects. There's also like not too much to see. I have an impact sound. Normally in this sound you have like this kick at the beginning, but I faded that out a bit, and I've removed a little bit of a sub frequency so that it's not clashing too much with the sub bass of the track. And I have this riser that sounds like this. So the next things are the vocals. Yes, and I've made this vocals with like some text to speech device, and I think this was like the original chain for the vocal, and it sounds like this.
Velocity Noodle.
And I just use it like a pre-drop for like this part, and it sounds like this.
Velocity Noodle.
And I have like some vocals at like this end part where I've stretched out the vocals to make like it sing a little bit. So I have like this sound, and it sounds basically like this.
Velocity.
And with the vocoder turned on, it sounds like this.
Velocity.
this vocoder is getting its signal from like these chords, and they sound like this. And I think like this one sound is like lost. I didn't found it anywhere, so it's just missing now, I guess. Yeah, but I thought that it was like a bit of fun to like put like the name of the game into the music, because like I don't know, the game doesn't take itself like too serious, so I thought this would be cool. Yeah. Now let's get to the synth. And there are a lot of synth sounds in this track. A lot of presets actually, like I think this Massive X thing is at the beginning also a preset. Yes, so I can't really tell you anything about it. But it's this arpeggio that's just going down. It's also like polymetric, this arpeggio, because it repeats itself after, what is it, like 5 notes, it repeats itself. So that's all one reason why this part sounds maybe like not as stiff as if like you would have just 4 notes. So I mean, I could show you how it would sound. So if you would just do it like on an even way, like this for example, it would sound way more stiff. But I wanted the feeling to be a little bit more open, so I've did this thing to it by just adding like 1 or 2 notes more when you actually would have needed. Yeah. The next sound. This is the next sound. This is just a fill that is being which plays with like the bass, which I've shown you earlier, and it's again like one of these cool monster wave tables by Massive X. The next sound is this lead line. I think this is also just a preset, yes. Like it's, I mean, this is basically just like, what, 3 saw waves, or 3 saw waves, and with like some filtering on it. So the next thing, again, this is I think just a preset, yes, but it has like these chords in it, and they are getting arpeggiated by this MIDI device arpeggiator, and it sounds like this. The next thing are these chord steps that I've made. And again, there's just like 3 saw waves stacked up, and this filter envelope goes directly down, and this LFO controls this filter so that you have like this short attack, and yes, there's some delay on it. So the next thing is this melody. I think again it's just a preset. I didn't make too much sounds for this track by myself, but I think what is interesting is that I've doubled it, like one is like an octave higher, this one, and one is an octave lower, and on the octave lower I don't have a delay on it, so that you can only hear the delay on the higher octave. So this part is a bit interesting, I think. So this is again just like a vacuum preset, but the reason why this sounds cool is this part. And how I did it is that I've created like a new channel. Then I've shows the input for like this channel, and it was like this main channel. I've made like this record button going on and auto mode for recording, and then I've recorded it. And then I've just reversed these sounds, and then I've put them on complex pro mode and put them in octave higher, and then I've obviously made them like this. And this is like a cool way to make like call and response kind of themes in your music, I think. Yes, so this is how I've done this part. Then again, I have some chords. And I have these chords again, but like arpeggiated. The next thing is this melody, and I think this is again just two saw waves and like some compression and distortion, and it sounds like this. And then I've reused like this sound again as a response to it. This is again the chords from like this part, but with an arpeggiator on it and a different sound. And also what is pretty cool, I think, is like this part at the end that goes like this. And what is like especially cool about it is like this kick and bass pattern. And this is again like a polymetric pattern. So what polymetric pattern means is that like you have like this part is like from the floor with like the snare and the heads, right? So this is even, but this part is not even. This part is uneven. This part goes for this long, so it's not 4 bars, it's 5 bars, and because it's 5 bars, it repeats itself not in the same way it would if you would make it like 4 bars. So that's again the reason why it feels very groovy, but and predictable in some sense, but not like very repetitive, if it makes sense. Let's look at the master chain. So I'm just getting rid of like a lot of gain here by -2 dB. This is an equalizer, and I'm boosting like the highs and I'm cutting some of the lows a bit. I've used ozone to master it, and yes, the threshold is at 0 dB and the ceiling is -0.3. I wouldn't do this again, I think. Like normally today I just put it like there, but for some reason I did it. And what I also would do like today, I didn't do it like more than a year ago, is that I would use this equalizer and I would put it on like mid and side mode, and I would cut like 20 dB of the mid frequency. So that's basically just some bass rumble that you wouldn't hear normally, but on like larger systems you could hear it on like, you know, some festivals or something. And I would like make the sides mono in the bass field so that it's a bit more punchy, Let's see how it sounds in comparison. I think I already did like a good job at modding the bass in the mix, so I think that's like not too bad, but I think you can hear a difference. Yes. Then I've used Uline loudness meter to check out how loud it is. I know that the first versions were like very loud, I think, but I think this is just hitting at -8 lofts. That's like very okay. And I've used the spectrum to meter the sub. Normally when you have a spectrum it would look like this. So pretty unusable, but by putting it from auto mode into range mode you can define like what should the range be of the frequencies, and normally I would put it like from 0 to -12, so that I can see like where the sub is and if it's like too loud or too quiet. So normally I would go for like about, let's say -9 to -6 or -3, depending on the style, if it's like, like loud music. Yeah, so I think that's it. Thanks for watching. Go get the game. It's out now on Switch and on Xbox and PlayStation. Go play it. Tell me what you think. Yeah, and have a good day. Bye.